Next neckline we'll be working with is the off the shoulder neckline. So I've gone ahead to tighten I'm going to be using the princess style line for this. I've gone ahead to tighten my under bust point. Then I've also gone ahead to reduce my underarm seam, underarm point, center front and center back, at the side front and side back, to aid. The reason for this is to aid movement around the sleeve area. So I reduced it. This is the broken line. I had to redraw the armhole. The next thing to do is to get the measurement for tightening. For an off shoulder, we use 100% tightening. We use 100% to tighten the shoulder. So I've gone ahead to do that. On this side of the dart leg, the outer dart leg, I took 4. Then from this side, not the broken line, the second inner dart leg, I took 4 cm from the shoulder line. So this is how you place it from the shoulder line. I took 4 cm. Then I connected it to my bust point, which is point X. Then I blended it also. So now the next thing we're going to do is I'm going to slash this open so that I'll be able to draw the neckline. Then in order to draw the neckline, you need to close your shoulder dart. You take this new dart leg or that, then since I'm going to cut this out, I'm just going to take it to the point B. Since I'm cutting through this line, I decided to take this to point D so that I will have a relaxed dart leg. All you have to do is to take this dart leg. This is the new dart leg, inner dart leg, outer dart leg. Like that. Leg. Snap leg. Let me make it leg. So this is it. Take this. All you have to do is to just take it to meet this dart leg. Then you take your tape, tape it down, then you draw your shoulder line. So I'm drawing my point, my 12.5 cm shoulder. From your MP. So this will be your new SP. Your new SP. Then you can decide to start your off the shoulder from this new SP, or you can take it back by 2 cm if you want it high. So, or take it forward by 2 cm from the original SP. So you can label this SP1 to SP3. So this part from this SP1, SP3, I mean to say SP3, this gives you a high neckline. Why did this give you an average neckline? This gives you a lower neckline. But if you still take it forward, you can have a very low very off neckline. So you come to your center front on your, at the nape of your of your pattern, because this is where, when you measure, this place is referred to as the nape, or you can just call it your collarbone. From there you take depending on how low you want it now and the neckline you intend to do. So, but I'm going to go down by 5 cm, 5 inches on this side. Then I'm going to draw my neckline. I'm going to use a dotted dotted. I'm going to connect it. So this is what this front looks like, and I'm going to withdraw my armhole here. Since I've taken after tightening my shoulder, some part of my chest point has gone in, so I'm going to withdraw my armhole to bring out my chest point. So about ½ inch has gone in, so I'm going to come here. But this is how I get to do it for me personally. Come here, ½ inch, then I connect to the new armhole, to the new armhole. From that point, 0.5. So you can take it like so. So this will now be your new armhole. Then the amount of measurements you're leaving here will be dependent on the round shoulder. When you're measuring an off shoulder, the width of the off shoulder around your shoulder. So that will determine what you leave here, because by the time you're done cutting, you calculate what you have and you fix your sleeve. You should be able to know, let's say you have 40 inches, you should be able to know if this is going to close or not. If you're going to arrive at 40 inches by the time you're done, then if not, you reduce it. So to be on the safe side, I like leaving some cm by the time I want to fix my sleeve. I get to know if it's enough. So this will now be my new armhole. I'm going to cut through this neckline because I'm using this front to determine the back. So you can either leave this like this, or you take it back, like I said, take it back to, you draw it to this, so this broken line serves. So it's your curl. That way you have enough measurement to work with. Then if it's excess, you trim it out. So I'm going to take this through that second line, then I cut. Also note that you must have you must have tightened your waist. I'm gonna cut. Before I cut through the princess style line, I'm going to bring this to this. Bring my center, my CF to my front, to the front line. Then I'm going to make sure CB, the waistline of the CF and the waistline of the CB at side seam and side back touches each other. Then I'm going to measure what I have here. So you come here where the armhole stops at CB, that will be your neck point. That will be the guideline to mark your neck point at the back. So it stops here. This is where your armhole at the back starts. The next thing you do is to just take your curve, your ruler on the side, how low you want your back. If you want it straight, if you want it curved, so you decide. So I'll go down by, I also go down by 5 point. On my back line, I'll go down by 5.5. You can take it to your point O at your back, the back at your point O at the back neckline. You can come, you can take it there and measure what you want. So I'm going to measure 9 cm, 9 inches or 10 inches. This now, like I said, depends on how low you want the back. But if you just want a regular back, you can just do 8 and decide what you want. So I'm going to take my curve and connect to this. So now note that we have take this, increase the back length. We already have some CM taken out from when we're slanting constructing the slanted back. So what you do, you just place your ruler, because we need to tighten the back also, but we'll tighten it at the zip line. So you take your ruler, you place it at a straight CB. Then under your neckline, the place your neckline stops at, to draw this, it's not curved at the back. So this is your neckline. The place it stops, the place it starts from, where the neckline is where you're going to place your ruler on, and you can tighten by using between 0.5 inch or 3/4 of an inch, that is 7.5, 0.75 or 1 inch. So I'm going to go in by 3/4 of an inch. Then I'll connect to my 2 cm slanted back. So this is the part I'm going to cut out. Take your curve. Then you curve your scissors and cut through. through this. And of course, you cut this out also. And you're going to label bottom straight grain, then your zip side, cut 2, cut 2, then come to the front, you cut out through the princess style line. Then do the same thing to the center front pattern. So this will serve as your balance mark and your bust point. And you notch that when you cut your fabric. This is also serves as your balance mark. Cut and fold, depending on the style you're doing. If you know you want to have a seam at the center front, you can decide to cut into 2, so cut twice. So this is, you must have removed your, like I said, you must have done your waist shaping and the necessary shaping that is required. So this is what this looks like. This is what your body's block looks like. So this is your off the shoulder neckline. So you cut, put your necessary seam allowance and put the necessary thing and you sew. Now note, if you don't want this, if you want to create a straight neckline, just straight, all you have to do is to just place another paper underneath it. This is what I do. I just place a paper underneath this. Going to roll like this, then you just roll from this point. That way I'll have a straight neckline. Come here, do the same thing to the other side, making sure the bust point and the bust point meets. Then I take my ruler from this point, I'll connect it. Take this off. So So that way I have a straight this will go up a bit because it's not lining. Then this is it. So by the time you cut through. So this is it. You take this off. That is what I do if I need to get a straight neckline. Just take this off, this like so. And from this neckline you can actually get your round neck if you want. Let's see. So you're just going to cut through this. And of course when you're cutting on your pattern, on your fabric, you're going to put your seam allowance. This is what it looks like. So if you need to cut your round neck, all you have to do is to just take it this way. Kind of down. So that's it. So this is what it will look like. So this is how I get my other neckline after cutting it this way. Cutting out the style line on the pattern. So that's it. Trim out this. This is here. And off shoulder is ready. And that's that. This is the back, this is the front. To get the sleeve, the off shoulder sleeve, you have to take your basic sleeve. Depending on the design of the sleeve you need to do. Basic straight sleeve. You need to take your straight sleeve or semi-shaped sleeve or fitted sleeve. This now depends on how you want the sleeve, the kind of sleeve you want. So I'm using this straight sleeve, semi-shaped sleeve for this. What you do is to get your top arm measurement on the pattern. By the time your top arm measurement with your ease plus ease, you mark it. I've done that already. The top arm for this is 33 cm plus 0.5 cm ease. So I've marked it out. So this will now be my point, new point U at my B, which is the back side of the sleeve. Then this will now be my point U at my F, the front side of the sleeve. So you take the front side of the sleeve, you from your new point U, the front side of the sleeve. So let me separate this so that it's clearer. The front side of the sleeve, you take from your new point U. This is my new point U. I'll take my sleeve, I'll place it on it like this. Now I'll use my pencil to mark where it stops on the pattern. So this is where my sleeve is going to start from for the front. And I'll take my pattern again. I'll come to B. I'll measure from my new point U. Point U. This is my point U. This is where my sleeve is going to start from. This remaining place is the allowance left. From my new point U, take it this way. Can actually hold it down if it's possible. Take it this way. And it's working this way for me. Then remove it, continue. Then this is where your sleeve is going to start from at the back. Then you take your ruler or comb, you connect this point B and the point F and point B together. So this side is going to be cut off on your sleeve. Then you cut out your sleeve depending on the length. If you're making a short sleeve, whatever length you're making, just cut it out. You put your seam allowance to this point. You put your seam allowance, and put your seam allowance. Okay, that way the sleeve is ready. So by the time you sew, you just sew, close, sew, and attach to the armhole. Time you sew it, all you have to do is to just sew, close this side, then you attach to the back and to the front. So that's how your off-shoulder sleeve is gotten from the straight sleeve block.